I lost $17,000 in commissions, but it was still my best summer ever with multiple 5 figures in net income. Hello, my fellow YouTube subscribers. I have an extremely personal video for you today. I wanted to share some of the financial pitfalls I went through in my first couple years in the business to kind of give you perspective and let you know that you're not the only one that's going to be struggling and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's get right into it. This is something extremely personal for me, so I'm not 100% comfortable talking about it, but I know it's going to help you guys out, so I'm going to share it anyway. All right. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because when I was getting in real estate and I was looking at real estate agents' experiences and stuff, I got 2 perspectives. First was the person who really didn't give it their all and they quit the business within the first year or so, and it's very discouraging. The second perspective was somebody who made a lot of money their first year or is already successful, and all they're telling you is work hard, stay consistent, which is very accurate advice. But what if I got no money in 6 months in the business? How am I supposed to work? I'm working hard, but I'm not making any money. What's going on, right? So I wanted to share my perspective and let you guys know, because I think I'm a very normal story, right? I'm slowly building my business instead of like an explosion from the first year. So let's get right into it. I got into business with $3,700 in my checking account. That's all I had. I never really had a savings account. $3,700, right? And at 21 years old, you can make that last for 3 months, and I did. And I had one rental check come in for $500, I think my 3rd month in the business. So let's say I had $4,200 to work with, but I ran out of that, 4 months into the business, 3 months into the business. And on the 4th month is when I got my listing. It was a $700,000 listing. So once I sold it, life was gonna be good. Problem with that is I have no money to advertise this listing. I can't afford to pay for the pictures, the staging, all the crap that I promised my clients, and why I charge 6%, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, crap, I need to start making some money so I can pay for these expenses. Start looking for some jobs and stuff, and I'm like, I need something that's so flexible that if a client calls me, I can stop that job and go do the real estate. And I find that Uber was the best thing for me in my situation, because I could turn it on and turn it off and make a few $100s a week, and everything's gonna be fine, right? So around, I started in February, so June, July, and some part of August, I started driving Uber just to make some money to cover my bills until I actually sold that listing I had, which was closing August, I think it was August 26th, right? So come August 26th, I had a really nice paycheck, and then I closed more deals further in the year, so I was set for the rest of the year. Starting my 2nd year, if you saw the recap, you'll know that I had a lot of deals fall through in the beginning half of my 2nd year. I think it was like $1.2 million worth of production just out the window. And that kind of put me in a financial hole again. And, nothing against Uber, but I'm trying to be a millionaire. I'm trying to be successful. I'm trying to take care of my family, trying to motivate people. And I'm here driving Uber, right? It's kind of like, it was discouraging for me, but I'm like, you know what? I'll do whatever I have to do to make ends meet, to survive long enough, because I know my real estate business will take off and I know I'll be successful. I just need to survive long enough. That was my mentality. And I'll never forget this couple week sequence. I had a closing on April 14th. And think about April, ladies and gentlemen, it's also tax season, right? So not only am I broke, I gotta pay my taxes, and they're due on the 15th. Just if you know how processing checks work, I won't get that April 14th check until like at least the 18th, right? So I had to come up with some money now, and it's the end of March, and my car payment is due. I got no money in the bank account. I had to come up with $250 that week to pay my car payment, and then more to pay my taxes. And I've never missed a payment in my entire life, and I wasn't about to start. So I'm Ubering, I worked up to $180. I drop off this lady in the south side of Chicago, turn off my app, and I start driving downtown to get more rides. On the way downtown, I get into a car accident. Think about Uber, you can't drive Uber if you don't have a car, right? So now I get in this car accident, I'm like, crap, the only way I know how to make money short term is out the window now. I'm like cussing, I was upset at first, and I'm like, you know what? Positive thinking, don't think about that you're in a mess, let's think about how we can get out of it, right? Let's just deal with the situation first, and then we can figure out the problems later. My cousin came over because initially we thought I needed a tow, but it was like 4 hours away. We just ripped the bumper off and drove ourselves, right? On the way home, all I can think about is how can I come up with at least, another $80, in the next couple of days, and another grand or grand and a half or so in the next week or so I can get out of this hole I'm in, right? I was just thinking how. I wasn't thinking, damn, I suck, I'm a loser. I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking solutions. And this is kind of what I want to get across to everybody. I'm thinking solutions and how. I'm asking myself how. So that conversation I had was extremely important because of this. My cousin calls me. He's right behind me. We're on the Bluetooth, right? He's like, we're making jokes. We're having a good time. You know, I'm not letting it affect me much. He's like, man, he owns a trucking company, and he had a truck sitting on the lot for a week or so, and he really needed a truck driver. He's like, oh man, I'll pay anybody anything to give me a truck driver. I'm like, how much you pay? He's like, I don't care. Right now, I'll pay $1,500. Now, if you do the math, that solves all of my problems, right? I'm like, done. So I'm like, there's gotta be a way I can find a truck driver. The beauty about real estate is, we're not really skilled in real estate. I'm skilled in everything, you know, marketing online, communication, sales, negotiating. That's really what you learn in real estate, right? So if I could use my skills and find a truck driver. I get on Facebook, I find out there's a trucking jobs group. I get in the group. Literally the next morning, I find them a driver. I get paid $1,500, and everything is good. Just think about that. Get into an accident. I'm in the hole. No way to make money. Next day, I figure out a way to make $1,500. Because at the end of the day, we're hustlers, ladies and gentlemen, and we will always figure out a way to make money if you're asking yourself, how can I make this money? How can I get out of this hole? Instead of, damn, I'm in this hole, right? So I get out of this hole, but I wanted to share that specific moment because that led to, like, I think at this point I probably made maybe $10,000 recruiting truck drivers. It's like a really good side income for me because everybody needs truck drivers. I found out there was a huge demand for it. So now that I know how to use Facebook, I know how to market online, I was able to find these drivers, send them to companies and get paid for them, right? So that was a good side hustle. So I didn't even need to drive Uber anymore. And then I got my paycheck for that closing in April, and then I had more deals in the summer, so everything was smooth sailing from that point forward. And I had a little bit of rocky road coming up this year in the slow season, but again, nothing this terrible. I got through it. I had the best summer of my entire career. I lost $17,000 in commissions, but it was still my best summer ever with multiple 5 figures in net income. So just so you know, I made it through this is my career. Up, down, up higher, down further, and now we're up even higher, right? So I gotta figure out a way to stop the roller coaster from happening. I don't know why, but we'll figure that out. But I wanted to share this story when I'm on the incline of my career instead of on the down, just so you know there is the light, and I am the light. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good time. I have like 5 buyers I'm working with right now. I have a listing for $475. It's a good time for me, and it will be a great time for you. You just stay in the business, figure out a way to make money in the short term, whether that's doing rentals, driving Uber, maybe serving tables in the weekends, or whatever the case is. Do what you gotta do to survive long enough, and business will come your way. That's why I wanted to share this video. You won't be the only one struggling financially. I know I was struggling financially a lot because my expenses were going up, my income was staying the same. It causes problems, right? I hope this was helpful to everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.